Alright, so here we go. Class example that we give you as homework. So we're going to let A be 0.1, so this will be x1, y1. And B will be 0.2, so this will be x2 and y2. Alright, so x1 is 3, y1 is -4, x2 is 9, y2 is 4. So for our gradient, alright, for our gradient, so the gradient is equal to y2 minus y1 and that will be divided by x2 minus x1. Alright, so we'll just plug in our values. y2 is 4 minus y1, which is -4. x2 is 9 minus x1, which is 3. So that gives us 4 minus -4, which is 4 plus 4. So that's 8 over 6. And we know we can simplify, break this down a bit more. 2 goes into 6 3 times, and 2 goes into 8 4 times. So simplified, or in its simplest form, this will be 4 over 3. Right, so our gradient is 4 over 3. Right, y increases by 4 over 3 each time x increases by 1. Alright, so that's the gradient. The length of the line now. The length of the line, let me just copy the formula for ease. Alright, so this is the length of the line. Alright, so working from scratch, y2 is, again, y2 is 4, y1 is -4. x2 is 9, x1 is 3. So that will give us, in the first bracket, 4 minus -4, 4 plus 4, 8. Second bracket, 9 minus 3, 6. So 8 squared gives us 64. And 6 squared gives us 36. And 64 plus 36 is 100. Alright, so we'll do the length now. Alright, so 64 plus 36 is 100. And the square root of 100 is exactly 10. So the length of the line that connects these two lines is 10 units. And for the midpoint, no, the midpoint is just the average of the x points and the average of the y points. So for the midpoint, so we're going to have so for the x points, it's going to be 3 plus 9 over 2, the average of the two x coordinates. And for the y coordinates, it will be negative 4 plus 4 over 2. So 3 plus 9 is 12. And negative 4 plus 4 is 0. So 12 divided by 2 is 6. And 0 divided by 2 is 0. So the midpoint is x equals 6, y equals 0. 6, 0. Alright, so not too bad at all. Alright, so find the equation of the straight line passing through the points A, where x is 5 and y is 7, and B, where x is negative 4 and y is 1. So, again, the equation is gradient equal rise over run. Alright, so let's look at our values. Alright, so we're going to let A be 1, so this will be x1, y1, and this will be x2, y2. Alright, so plug in the values. y2 is 1 minus y1, which is 7. x2 is negative 4 minus x1, which is 5. So this gives us 1 minus 7 is negative 6, and negative 4 minus 5 is negative 9. And we should see that this can be simplified to 2/3. Alright, the negatives cancel, and 3 into 6, 2, 3 into 9, 3. Right, so now we know the gradient. We can state the general equation of the line is y equal mx plus c, where m is the gradient. So we know the gradient, so we can put it in. It is y equals 2/3 x plus c. I'll write it nicer. Right, plus c. So we know the value of m, but we now need to find the value of c. Right, the y-intercept. We have two coordinates that we can use to do that. Right, so let's use A, where x is 5, y is 7. So we just plug in those values into the equation, right? So we're using x equals 5 and y equals 7. to find C. Alright, make these a bit smaller. Alright, so let's put them in the equation. So y is equal to 2/3. In fact, let me do this to the side. So y equal 2/3 x plus c. And we're saying we're using y is equal to so y is equal to, so replace y with the value of y, which is 7. And since we're using fractions, let's put 7 over 1. And replacing x with replacing x with 5. And again, since we're using fractions, I'm putting 5 over 1. Alright, so we want to simplify this expression now. So 2 times 5 2 times 5 is 10 over 3 times 1 over 3 times 1 is 3. So 7 over 1 is equal to 10 over 3 plus c. We're solving for c, so we're bringing the 10 over 3 to the left. And we get 7 over 1 Alright, so we have 7 over 1 minus 10 over 3 is equal to c. Alright, so we're going to continue with the workout. So let's recognize that we need a common denominator, which is 3. Alright, so we're going to say let 3 be the common denominator. And we're going to say 1 into 3 goes 3 times 7, 21. Minus 3 into 3, 1. 1 times 10, 10. From there, alright, it's simply saying 21 minus 10 equals 11 over 3, which is the value of c. So now we have our value for C along with our value for M. So we can say now that our equation is y equal 2/3 x plus 11 over 3. Right, and that's our overall equation for the straight line passing through the points A, 5, 7, and B, negative 4, 1. Alright, so for this one, it says find the equation of the line passing through the point A, 2, 3, and parallel to the line y equal negative 4x plus 6. Now the first thing to note is that if two lines are parallel, they have the same gradient. Right, so since the two lines are parallel, we just need to identify the gradient of the line y equal negative 4x plus 6. And remember, the equation is y equal mx plus c. And the value of m here is negative 4. So that would be our gradient, negative 4. And if that is the gradient of this line, then it's also the gradient of the parallel line that we're trying to find the equation of. So we can now write down our partial equation as y equals negative 4x plus c. Alright, so we have one part, and we now need to find the value of c. In this case, we're given just one coordinate, A, where x is equal to 2 and y is equal to 3. So we're going to use those coordinates to solve for c. Just use my text box from here. You know, this one will be less complicated. So let's go. So we're saying y is equal to negative 4x. Hold on. Alright, so y is equal to negative 4x plus c. And we're saying we know we're using the value of y as 3, so we're going to say y equal 3. Apologies for that. Let me get rid of this. Yeah. Alright, so we know the value of y. Y is equal to 3. And x is equal to 2. So replace those values. Expanding, we get 3 is equal to negative 4 times 2 would be negative 8 plus c. We want to solve for c, so we are going to bring negative 8 over to the other side, and we'll get 3 plus 8 is equal to c, which means c is equal to 3 plus 8, which is 11. So we now have the value of c. And we can say, based on that, therefore, y is equal to negative 4x plus 11. Alright, so this is our equation, negative 4x plus 11. Alright, so here we have to find the equation of the straight line passing through the point P, where x is -4, and y is -7. And it's also perpendicular to the line 3x plus y equal 12. Now, the first thing that we should note is that this is not in the format. Right, so this is not in the format y equal mx plus c. So the first thing that we need to do is put it in that format. So in that format, it will be y equal negative I'm not sure why my equation is looking like this. Let me just delete that. Copy this. I said to be y equal -3x plus 12. That's in the format y equal mx plus c. So that means the gradient of this line is equal to -3. Now, for parallel lines, the gradient of the parallel line is a negative inverse. Right? So we want negative inverse of this. So we'll say the negative inverse of -3 is m equals, so it's a negative and it's the inverse. So this is -3, it will be 1 over -3 for the inverse. You should see that the negatives cancel out, so that would be just 1 over 3. Alright, so the gradient of our line will be 1 over 3. So we can write our equation, our partial equation, as y equals 1/3 x plus 12 plus c, not 12, because we don't know what c is as yet. Right, y equal mx plus c, so we have y equal 1/3 x plus c. So we now need to solve for c. Alright, so if I use what we have here, just copying and pasting to kind of cut down on the processing time. Alright, so y equals 1/3 x plus c. We're saying y is equal to -7. Right, so this will be -7. I put over 1 since we're going to be working with fractions. And then we have 1/3 times x, where x is -4 over 1. And I put over 1 because we're working with fractions. Same reason. Alright, so continuing here. We will have negative 4 times 1 will be negative 4 over 3 times 1, 3. So we have negative 7 over 1 equal negative 4 over 3 plus c. So we're going to bring over the negative 4 over 3. Alright, so bring that over. Negative will become positive. And that's equal to c. So negative 7 over 1 plus 4 over 3 is equal to c. Now we need a common denominator. Let's copy and paste again. Alright, and 3 is the common denominator. So 1 into 3 is 3. 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. Plus 3 into 3 is 1. 1 times 4, 4. Negative 21 plus 4 would be negative 17. So c is equal to negative 17 over 3. Alright, so we can finish the equation. Y is equal to 1 over 3x, a third x, minus 17 over 3. Alright, so we have our complete equation. Well, then that's it.